Today, we talk about the different types of octanes and which one you should run in your vehicle. So people ask all the time, should I run regular, should I run mid-grade, or should I just get the best gas I can get and get premium? Well, the answer is more complex than you would think. It really can't be answered with a yes or no, or you should definitely run this type of fuel over that type. But we're going to get into what all the details are, get kind of scientific with it, and then maybe at the end of this video you'll be able to make the decision for yourself on what kind of fuel you should run. So a lot of people believe that running premium gas will make you go faster and will give you way more horsepower. And that's honestly simply not the case. So premium fuel doesn't really have more energy than regular gas. So the difference between the two lies in the blend of hydrocarbons that are used to make the fuel, as well as the package of additives that are mixed into it. So when you go to the gas pump, you see, 85, 87, and depending on where you live, you'll either see 91, 92, or 93 octane. So what is octane? Octane, or an octane rating, or octane number, is a standard of measure of the performance of the engine fuel. The higher the octane number, the more compression the fuel can withstand before detonating. So the higher the octane rating is its higher ability to prevent pre-detonation. So what is pre-detonation? So pre-detonation, or pre-det, is also called spark knock. Now some of you may have heard of spark knock. Spark knock's bad. So spark knock is basically an erratic form of combustion that can cause head gasket failure, and it can cause a bunch of other mechanical problems for your engine down the line. So pre-det occurs when there's excessive heat and excessive pressure in your combustion chamber, and it causes the air-fueled mixture to basically auto-ignite. So instead of your spark plug sending that spark into the fuel and air mixture to ignite that to cause the combustion, the heat and pressure are so high that it automatically ignites, and that's pretty bad. So what does this mean for your car? We'll look at some tuning tables a little later to kind of really give you an idea of what ignition timing really is, how it plays into effect with your spark plugs, and what higher octane and your ignition, how they coexist, for lack of a better word. It's kind of difficult to understand. It's kind of difficult to really explain. That's why I'm trying to do this video for you guys. But we're going to get kind of hands-on with the laptop so I can really show you guys what happens in your vehicle's computer to prevent and cause all of this stuff. Before we do that, we kind of have to understand what ignition timing is. So, I've written down a whole scientific explanation of what it is, but I think I'm just going to give you guys the quick explanation of it. So ignition timing is basically what it sounds like. It is the time in which, when your piston is going up, compressing that air to fuel mixture, at what time on that piston stroke is your computer sending a spark to your spark plug to ignite that mixture. So when your piston's going up, it's compressing all that air to fuel, and at what time on that piston stroke is it igniting? That's basically what ignition timing is. So I run 93 octane in my truck, but that's because I'm tuned to do so. A lot of vehicles come with 2 octane tables within their vehicle's computer. Now that's preset by the factory, and what those tables are is to prevent your engine from hurting. So a lot of manufacturers recommend to run regular gas. That's because they have a table set up within your ECU, which is your computer, to run regular gas, so it lowers the ignition timings. That way you're not compressing that air to fuel mixture really hard and causing the pre-det. Now they also have a high octane table. Now not all vehicles could have this, so if yours doesn't have it, I'm sorry. You have to run, what the manufacturer recommends for you to run, unless you get a tune. But for vehicles that do have the 2 tables, they have a high octane table too. So your vehicle it'll read what the octane of the fuel is. How it calculates that is really scientific, but it calculates the octane rating, and it can kind of sense what you're running in the vehicle. So if you're running a higher octane in the vehicle, it knows to give it more timing, which will give you more power. But not all vehicles are programmed this way. My truck is programmed this way, but it's also tuned on top of that. So I'm running way more timing than what Chevy said I should run. Now, the reason for that is because I go to the drag strip, so I need more power. So I need that air to fuel mixture as compressed as possible to cause a bigger boom inside of my engine, so I can, you know, make more power and get down the track faster. So, does that mean in your daily driver, like if you're driving a Honda Civic, or, you know, a Chevy Cruze, or a Toyota Camry, does that mean that you should run high octane? Well, not necessarily, because your manufacturer has pre-programmed what your ignition timing should be based on the fuel that it recommends for your vehicle. So if you're, you know, in your owner's manual, if it says you should run regular fuel, it's because inside your vehicle's computer, its detonation is programmed for regular gas. So really, running a higher octane, it's not going to give you more power. It's going to give you a better burn, that's for sure. But it's not going to result in more power. And honestly, you might just be wasting your gas and your money computer to do a certain thing. And so you should run what fuel they recommend you to run. It hurts you pretty bad. And the reason for that is the auto manufacturer, when they tuned your vehicle, they said, okay, they need to run premium, so when the piston is really high up, really compressing this air to fuel mixture, that's when we want the spark to be delivered to ignite. So if you run regular gas in a premium vehicle and it's trying to force that air to fuel mixture to where it's supposed to be, but the fuel doesn't want to be compressed that much, so it automatically ignites, which is pre-dead. So the computer gets thrown off, and it goes to pull timing out of the vehicle because all it sees is knob, and it gets really confused. And if it doesn't pull that timing, it can hurt you really bad, which can cause that head gasket failure that I mentioned earlier. It can wear out your pistons, your piston seals. It can do a lot of damage to your vehicle just because you wanted to save a couple cents and run regular instead of the premium. So the moral of my long tangents here is you should really run what the auto manufacturer recommends that you run in your vehicle. And the simplest way to find that is to just look in your owner's manual. Sometimes it's even printed on your gas cap. It'll say use premium only or use regular only. And that's because that truck up there just threw a rock at my truck. So my truck slammed to the ground, so it just picks up everything gets thrown. That's a completely different story. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen how low my truck is to the ground. But anyways, the gist of this story is run what the manufacturers recommend, because it's pre-programmed for your spark plug to ignite at a certain time on the piston stroke. And if it gets compressed too much, bad gas or low octane or high octane won't burn at the point where it's supposed to burn. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys really need to see the ignition tables and HP tuners. I'll probably save that for another video, because that's a whole nother bag of worms right there. But I think you guys get the gist of it. If you don't, please comment down below and I will answer your question to the best of my ability. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but on my way home, there was a crazy accident. It was huge. I've never seen this many Hampton police out in one area. Looks like a Kia Soul, and it looks like an older Toyota Camry got in a bad accident. You can see they're on the scene over there sweeping everything up. That was probably the driver of one of the vehicles right there, poor lady. Oh, and this Ford right here got in an accident too. Its hood is all messed up. Oh, that's terrible. But yeah, that's a daily occurrence here where I live. But I've never seen this many cops out, so it must have been a pretty bad wreck. But yeah. Yo, I wish I filmed that whole thing for you guys. It was way more than those two vehicles. There was like 7 or 8 vehicles involved in that accident. There was like a Dodge Durango, another couple cars, there was a truck involved, and everything was smashed up, like really smashed up. That is crazy. I just thought it was those 2 vehicles. It turns out it was all of them. lady just walked out right in front of traffic with like her shopping cart and almost caused an accident. And she didn't even look. She was like, oh, I'm just walking, you have to stop. But we had the green light and she had a red hand sign. I don't know, people are crazy. And there was a huge thunderstorm today, so a lot of the street lights are out or they're just flashing. So yeah, streets are chaotic. Look at this nice ass BMW. Ah, it's so fresh. That thing was fresh. This GoPro, so I decided, why not film something for people to watch? And yeah, decided to, since I was getting gas anyways, to film what the difference was in Octane. So if you guys liked the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up and make sure you please subscribe. I'm trying to get as many subscribers as possible. For those of you that don't know, I'm moving from Virginia to Dallas, so there's going to be crazy car meets, there's going to be crazy street racing, and it's going to be a blast. And I really want everybody to see how awesome it is. So make sure you like and make sure you subscribe.
I'm on the bean, I'm on the molly, I'm on the bean, I'm on the molly, I'm on the bean, I'm on the molly, I'm on the bean. Lil' Paul Rich, he finna get richer. I pop a bean,